Hey guys, thank you for watching our cool little segment from the customer service guys. They are a fun group of people, and they keep all of you safe. They are, whoop whoop, the space police.
They are indeed.
Let's grab just one last chat with Torvi before we have Noah, the lead game designer, come on. One of the things you mentioned before was that we're going to keep working on planetary interaction. Is this whole iterating or continually working on things something we're just full on grasping and jumping right into?
Yeah, I mean, we've gone through a lot of stages in EVE development, and sometimes at one stage we were just fixing bugs. Back in 2003 we launched and we just fixed bugs for 18 months. It was not fun.
Was this because we had too many features?
Yes, and that's why we had this t-shirt made in 2004. Very good. during the Shiva Blitzcrunch, when people would come in and say, I have this awesome idea, it's just amazing. And then we've kind of gone the flip side, and sometimes we have been adding new features because we feel the game could be deeper. We want to make it like it is already like the deepest, most complex MMO, sandboxy MMO in the universe, and we thought, why not make it a bit deeper and more sandboxy and complex? And we added these features like planetary interaction, for example. And but it needs a healthy balance, and there's a lot of older systems in the game that we are planning to iterate on at one time or another. But the fact is that there's just so much in the game. You can't fix all of them in one go. And planetary interaction was actually an iteration on our NPC commodities market, just with a much cooler UI and better industry. So kind of alongside the cool new features like planetary interaction, EVE Test League, Incarna, all of these are actually kind of weaved into being iterations on existing systems we don't like and we would like to make better. And alongside that, we are going to be iterating a lot on the older systems in game. So for those of us that are in the long run, there's a lot to look forward to. But I should mention also that it's actually because we do these kind of small releases, because we don't like hold off for 18 months or 2 years and then do an expansion and launch like all over what, we are able to see the feedback. Both technically, we're able to see how things run technically or don't run and crash people's machines and cause Windows not to start up. And we can also see how they just interact with the in-game economy, because the in-game economy is fairly kind of fragile. We cannot just launch massive stuff on it. And also, most importantly, how it works with the players and getting feedback from the players through the forums, through just meeting with them and through the CSM, and then iterating on the stuff using that feedback. So I quite like it rather than having long expansion cycles and just not listening to anyone and just doing random stuff.
And you know what? It is more fun having 2 birthdays a year than 1.
Yes.
One cool thing we have going right now is that, of course, a lot of people at CCP enjoy the Alliance tournament just like you guys do. We actually have a webcam up in our cafeteria showing our developers watching the Alliance tournament, having beer, eating pizza. Look at those people. There is CCP Chronotis on the couch. He was on the show yesterday. A lot of other people. There they are. Look how happy they are.
I think they're calling for help.
There may be a fire and they're trying to signal us to come help them, but
they have been working non-stop for 18 hours a day, crunching away, fixing defects, and they're calling for help.
They are. That is cool. We do have the semifinals coming up here in 2-3 minutes. We have the results of the PCU contest. Please remember to keep logging on, keep viewing the stream. Let's get more people online than ever. Let's have more people watching than ever. Yeah, the tournament results, the semifinals, then the finals, and then we have CCP's lead game designer, Hammer, who's going to come on and talk a little bit more about what's going to be happening. We had 4P yesterday talk a little bit about Dust. We've had Torfi now talk a little bit about Incarnate. Let's see what CCP Hammer pulls out of the bag. But we still have 3 more matches.
We do.
What do we have left? We have Hydra versus Voltron.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
It is, it is. Who do you think is going to take it?
I don't really want to call it, but I'm going to have to go Hydra, I think. I think Voltron are a really, really good team, and we were talking about it during the break, and I don't know, I'm undecided, but I'm going to go Hydra.
How about you, Darius?
Well, I say Hydra, just because I always choose the better posters. And in a close contest, could swing it one way or another.
And in terms of posts, quantity equals quality.
At times.
At times.
Yeah.
I think Voltron certainly proved that.
Yeah, it depends on what sort of a measuring mechanism you're using.
I think we should use meters.
I don't even know what that is.
I know. We should. I think I will definitely go with Hydra as well. We have Pandemic Legion as well, but they're up against a strong team that surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Darkside they were one of the underdogs. They weren't really well known, and they came into the tournament, and it was just like they're probably going to go out in the qualifying rounds. They had a pretty tough start, and then they kind of set the tournament on fire a little bit. I mean, they knocked out Dystopia, obviously, and they've just really done awesomely. I mean, there's no one really that I know or I recognise, and no one that's like a really prolific forum poster or anything who's with them. There's no one who's like effectively E-famous and is known in Eve, but they just seem they've got what it takes. I mean, they're in the semi-finals, and it's like RUR was before they became Ronin. They've just gone all the way because they've just thought out of the box. They've had really good setups, and I'd like to see them in the final.
They may be machines.
They might,
which is why they don't post.
Yeah, we don't hope they're machines because then we have to ban them, sadly.
Yes, and then we're somehow responsible for them.
They're not very effective machines, though. You should probably have them mining or something else.
Or making posts.
Or making posts. You never know. Anyway, we have good teams left. We have surprises always. Darkside, you mentioned, kind of remind me a little bit about like RUR, who came in a few years ago and had a tremendous showing in the Alliance tournament. No one really knew who they were and were beat, as far as I remember, in the final by Pandemic Legion.
They were, yes. They got all the way through to the final, and then PL knocked them out, sadly.
Well, let's go watch Hydra Reloaded versus Voltrons. We have your guesses in. Remember that you should be logging on as many characters as humanly possible, even the characters you don't have, and go turn on the stream, join us, watch this semi-final. It's going to be amazing.